You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Can I say that I was expecting this to be the case? Yes. Does that make me any more disappointed? No. Like, I'm gonna try to keep this like off the cuff. I don't know if this would be more like a rant style of video or anything. It'll be less of a review, more of a rant. I'll review the chapter every now and again, but this would be more or less like a rant sort of thing. Yeah, Vegeta lost again. At this point, it's starting to become synonymous with the New York Knicks. You know, like you expect them to lose, but there's always one small part of you that kind of holds out hope, you know, that maybe this time will be different. You know, maybe this time we could get over the hump. You know, maybe this, like, he has this, so this time it'll be different. But we continue to be disappointed. Yeah, Vegeta, if you don't already know, Vegeta lost against Granola in the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter 75. I don't know really what else to say for this intro other than Vegeta took the L. Now, in this chapter, we got to see the introduction of Vegeta's new God of Destruction power. We get to see the results of his training with Beerus. And I'm just going to say I was pretty underwhelmed in terms of the abilities that he was able to showcase. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I read it wrong. Because I went back and I read it a couple times. But I guess the power didn't feel like it made much of a difference in terms of the fight. Just let me talk about the fight. In terms of the fight was drawn really well. Toru did an excellent job drawing the fight. The fight choreography was really well. Like I said in the last video, I expected the fight choreography to be done really well. So I was impressed with the fight itself. You know, the hand-to-hand, I love that. But I felt like the power that Vegeta had was very underwhelming in terms of how it was showcased. I don't know if maybe, since I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, I'll say that since it was his first time using the form, like in a fight, maybe he's not the best at it. You know, let's give him that. Even then, that didn't really make that much of a difference, you know, because I don't think Vegeta had any intent of killing Granola per se. I think he just kind of wanted to flex on him, and that's another part of Vegeta's character that it's just disappointing. I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm tired of getting my hopes up, and I know getting my hopes up is my fault and my fault alone. I can't really blame Toriyama for this, but it's just getting to a point to where, like, a character that you enjoy, he keeps losing over and over and over again. And that's why I titled the video Bridesmaid, Never the Bride, because it just seems like Vegeta is always the stepping stone for whoever shows up next to get the W, who I predict will be Vegeta. It's just kind of a little bit annoying at this point. Now, Vegeta was his normal cocky self at the beginning of the chapter, and like I predicted in the last video, he was in control of the fight from the first half. The first 20 or so pages, he was whooping Granola. Like, it was no, there we go again. He was he was whooping Granola. Like, it looked like your typical Vegeta fight, where he has the upper hand at first, but you're kind of still waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know, and like, you can't even, like, at this point, it's not even, at this point, it's not even funny. It's like, this is the norm now. Like, I don't know if it's premature to say, but I truly do not believe that Vegeta will win a main fight unless Goku was taken out of the story. Like, I truly believe that the only way for Vegeta to get his shine is if Goku is killed off, if he's, like, rendered incapable to fight, or anything like that. Because as long as Goku is there to fall back on, Vegeta will not win a fight. Now, I'm going to reiterate a point that I've made off the record mainly, but I kind of just want to have it on record. And don't take the statement as me saying I hate this person or whatever. But I truly believe that the Dragon Ball story would be better if Goku was gone. Now, I'm not saying, like, just completely wipe him from the story. You can still make him, like, an important, like, supporting character, or even, like, a sort of mentor or like a motivator sort of character. But I believe that, and I know that it wouldn't work narratively speaking, and I know that like in reality, really, that would never happen. Really, there's no way Toriyama and Dragon Ball would just completely get rid of Goku. But I think that mainly for stakes and for the sake of character development for other characters, if Goku was gone, I believe that Dragon Ball's like writing and like just the strength of their characters, like power level wise, and like the depth of their character, and just giving them more of a chance to shine. I believe that it would be better if Goku was gone, honestly. But before I get labeled a Goku hater, let me get back on point in the whole point of this video, which is Vegeta. Now, I just want to iterate that Vegeta losing isn't like just the result of Vegeta losing isn't why it's kind of upsetting. It's sort of the reasons why he loses and sort of like the events that lead up to him losing that I feel like could have been preventable with a couple of tweaks here and there. Like the reason why he lost his fight, I believe, and I explained it, I keep saying this, but I explained it in my last video, I believe that narratively, and like at the point that we are in the arc, that it wouldn't have made sense for Vegeta to win. So I'm not really upset that Vegeta lost to Granola. It's just more or less the placement in which he lost, you know, and it's like, it feels sort of like a waste of the new abilities that he has and the results of his training. It kind of feels like a waste. And I guess I kind of want to see more character development from Vegeta because I truly do believe that Vegeta is the most developed character in Dragon Ball up until this point. Now people can debate and you can have an argument for other characters, and whatever you believe, that's what you believe. I really don't care. But I believe that Vegeta at this point in the story should be smart enough to recognize that, like, the quote, "the pride cometh before the fall," that's Vegeta to a T. Like, he's so prideful that it leads to his downfall a lot of times. And you would think that at this point in the story that Vegeta would have been able to, like, use his pride to his benefit and not to his detriment. And this, I feel like this where it kind of comes in from the writing standpoint, where the writing for Vegeta is really bad. And I feel like his character suffers because of sort of the poor writing, in my opinion. If you think the writing is good, then you can think that. But I believe that the writing for Vegeta's character is pretty bad, and that really leads to a lot of his losses. And that could be easily changed. That can be easily changed, but it's just, I just don't know what Toriyama is doing with this character. I think at this point Toriyama is just sitting in his room in his $1 million mansion, and he's just counting his money, and he's just pumping stuff out left and right. And he could do that. It's his story. He could do whatever he wants. But it's just, it could be fixed. Vegeta's character can be fixed, and if you use him the right way, Vegeta can be like the spearhead for defeating someone. He can. I believe that Vegeta can take the lead for an arc. Like, it's possible. It's just Dragon Ball. Toriyama just refuses to have Vegeta take the forefront. And I believe that this really should have been Vegeta's fight to win. This truly should have been Vegeta's fight to win for really a couple of reasons that I'm gonna talk about. Now, character progression wise, I believe that, if we remember, during the Moro arc, Vegeta was atoning himself for what he did on Planet Namek, for killing all those Namekians. That was the first hint of character progression that I remember seeing during the Super manga. And I was of the mindset that even though Vegeta lost to Moro, even though he shouldn't have lost to Moro, he had Moro on the ropes, I believe that kind of character progression would carry over to this arc. But unfortunately it hasn't. I thought that this was sort of like the build. I thought that was like sort of like the build up, the start to Vegeta kind of redeeming himself a little bit. Even though he kind of redeemed himself, quote unquote, with his final atonement, I believe that like he was starting to progress as a character once the Moro arc was kind of like reaching its climax. And I wanted that to sort of carry over into the Granola arc, but it didn't. But I thought that was kind of like a sign that Vegeta was getting ready to take that mantle. Next was obviously his new God Destruction transformation. The results of his training with Beerus, I believe that that was going to be another reason why he was going to, even if he wasn't going to win, at least showcase that he wasn't second fiddle anymore. Seeing as how Goku lost the last fight with Granola before Vegeta stepped in, I thought that this was going to be Vegeta's chance to shine and maybe to surpass Goku. Even if he didn't defeat Granola, I thought that him surpassing Goku would have been a hell of a, I guess, silver lining. Even if he did lose, I felt like that would have been enough to kind of solidify and complete Vegeta's character development at that point. And then with Vegeta and Goku being equals, they could have came together and defeated Granola. However Toriyama Toyotawa decided to do that. But disappointment. Once again, his new transformation wasn't impressive at all, in my opinion. But also, I'm speaking from the fact that this isn't over. This fight isn't over. The chapter kind of ended on a cliffhanger, per se, with Vegeta kind of defeated. His God Destruction form kind of ran out. But we really, at this point, don't really know the limits or the capabilities of what his form can do. So I'm kind of holding out hope. See, there I go. I'm kind of holding out hope that maybe next chapter, maybe in the future chapters, that we'll see more character progression, that we'll see more, like, I guess, power progression in terms of Vegeta showcasing more of his abilities and Toriyama Toyotawa kind of showcasing that even though Vegeta doesn't have Ultra Instinct, and that was a big part of his character, that even though Goku has Ultra Instinct, Vegeta kind of wanted to make something for himself. And he even said that, yeah, he was like, you can call this, even though Goku has Ultra Instinct, you can call this Ultra Ego or whatever. I don't really know what that meant per se, but it's kind of perfect for Vegeta and his character because of how prideful he is. Lord, that line just, when I saw that line, I was like, Lord, this dude's gonna lose, isn't he? I guess I'm starting to slowly come to terms with the fact that Vegeta as a character is really just designed to lose. And I know that kind of puts him like, I know that's kind of like a blanket statement per se. I know there's obviously more to Vegeta's character than just losing, but the presentation and the situations that he's continuously put in, and the fact that it always results in him losing, it kind of starts to reinforce the idea that Vegeta really is never going to be the main guy. He's never really going to get his moment really to shine over Goku. He's never really going to get that moment over Goku. Like, even if Goku and them fought once again, I think that Goku would still win. I believe that is widely accepted that Goku would still win. And that's fine. Vegeta really doesn't have to necessarily beat Goku in order for him to become a good character. I just believe that in order for Vegeta to become a good character, I want him to kind of be the best character in the arc, I guess. Now that's really like subjective to say, well, someone's the best character in the arc. But what I mean by best is he kind of takes the lead on everything. He's the reason why the plot moves forward. He's the reason why I guess the problem gets solved, I guess, on his own skills, on his own power, on his own training, on like his character is designed to, his character is presented and put in situations where he can't win. Not to say that Vegeta becomes like a Mary Sue or whatever, but he's presented challenges in his character, and what he's worked up to that point are what lead him to getting the victory. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but yeah, just to prevent me from going off on another tangent or just kind of rambling off again, I guess I just want Vegeta to get his fair share. Even though Goku is the main character, I feel like even if Vegeta is the side character still does deserve to get some shine. And Dragon Ball Z at this point really is starting to become like the Goku and Friends show. It kind of, another sports reference, it kind of reminds me of the Bulls back in the 80s and early 80s and late 80s, really, where it was just Jordan and a whole bunch of bum people, really, not bums like in terms of like basketball skill, but in terms of like NBA and like the caliber. It's just Jordan and his Jordannaires. It's just Goku and the Gokets. It's sometimes starting Vegeta. It's just disappointing. Once again, I'm gonna keep saying that. I'll probably put that somewhere in the title of the video, just disappointing. But yeah, it's just disappointing. I guess if you're a Vegeta fan and you're looking for some sort of silver lining in this chapter or the development of his character as a whole, I would kind of look at it as not really what he hasn't done, but more or less how far he's progressed as a character, coming from the Saiyan saga, from when he was hell-bent on destroying Earth up until now. Like the progression he's gone through. Like, he's married Bulma, he has a son Trunks, who's very important and integral to Dragon Ball. Even though he lost to Frieza, he was able to sort of get his payback, I guess, if you want to say that, in Resurrection F. He really didn't do much in the Universe 6 saga, but he was able to create a connection with Kaba, which was very important. That kind of, for me, that was like the best version of Vegeta, for him to finally have like a protege of sorts. And he kind of like helped Kaba achieve something greater than what he normally thought. The Goku Black Arc, he gave a great speech, even though he ended up getting shafted. It was a great speech nonetheless. It's probably one of his best moments. Even in the moral arc, the redemption of himself and him trying to forgive himself and sort of redeem himself for what he did to the Namekians back on the Frieza arc, is great. He went from getting slapped by Beerus to being one of his students and to learn the power that he has. Goku, even though he has Ultra Instinct, Vegeta was able to achieve a power all of his own, and he learned it by himself. So I guess this is silver lining. Vegeta, even though Vegeta has lost a lot, he has also gained a lot too. And I don't think that his character arc is over just yet. I believe that there is still more greatness in store for Vegeta, but we just kind of have to stay patient and let's just wait a little bit, because I believe that there is greater stuff on the horizon for Vegeta in this arc. Even though he lost, I believe that we should hold the horses on saying that he's a disappointment or that he's a loser just yet. You know, let's wait till after this arc and see where Toriyama decides to go. But yeah, that's going to be the end of my little video on my reaction or review or whatever. Make sure that you, if you haven't already, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment below what you thought about the chapter, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
How can there be such a huge power gap between us? That's simple. You're an interloper, a Saiyan imposter. And I'm the real thing.